The vast chambers of the Galactic Council fell silent as the emergency broadcast flickered across every holoscreen. The images showed what remained of the Drachnid invasion fleet, now nothing more than twisted debris scattered across Earth's orbit. Standing before the stunned assembly of alien delegates, Ambassador Sarah Chen struggled to maintain her diplomatic composure, but the slight smile tugging at her lips betrayed her satisfaction. "Distinguished members of the Council," she began, her voice echoing through the chamber, "you warned us that revealing ourselves to the wider galaxy would bring unwanted attention. You were right, but what you failed to understand was that humanity has spent its entire existence preparing for this moment." The memories of that fateful day 3 months ago were still fresh in everyone's minds. The Drachnid Empire, believing Earth to be an easy conquest, had arrived with their planet-cracker weapons and quantum-phase destroyers. They had expected to find a primitive civilization cowering before their technological might. Instead, they found themselves facing an enemy forged by millennia of internal conflicts and species that had turned the art of warfare into a science. In the viewing gallery, junior diplomat David Thompson watched as the alien representatives shifted uncomfortably in their seats. He had been there when Earth's defense grid activated, when the orbital platforms revealed their true nature. What the galaxy had dismissed as crude satellite networks and space debris had been an elaborate deception. A web of automated defense systems and stealth weapons platforms that had taken decades to position. Our ancestors learned long ago that the best weapon is the one your enemy doesn't know exists. Ambassador Chen continued, bringing up holographic displays of the battle. "While you watched us launch primitive rockets and struggle with basic spaceflight, we were building something else entirely, something hidden in plain sight." The footage showed waves of microscopic nanite swarms dissolving Drachnid hull plating like tissue paper. Earth's supposedly primitive satellites transformed into hypervelocity mass drivers, unleashing devastating kinetic strikes. But most shocking of all were the quantum phase shifts that the humans somehow anticipated and countered, leading many council members to suspect Earth had achieved technological parity with the galaxy's most advanced civilizations, all while maintaining a convincing facade of technological inferiority. We come before this council today not to boast of our victory, but to issue a warning. Ambassador Chen's voice hardened. Earth has stood alone for thousands of years, advancing in isolation, preparing for the day we would face threats from beyond our solar system. We developed our technology not through graceful leaps of innovation, but through brutal trial and error, through conflict and necessity. A murmur of unease rippled through the chamber as classified reports began circulating among the delegates. Intelligence estimates of Earth's military capabilities were being hastily revised upward. The humans had not just defeated a Drachnid invasion fleet, they had systematically dismantled it while revealing only a fraction of their true capabilities. "The choice before this council is simple," Chen concluded, her gaze sweeping across the assembly. "You can continue to view Earth as a threat, a primitive world that somehow got lucky against the Drachnids. Or you can accept that humanity has earned its place among the stars, not through peaceful advancement, but by preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. The Drachnids made their choice. Now it's your turn." As she stepped away from the podium, the chamber erupted in fierce debate. In the galleries above, David Thompson watched the chaos unfold, knowing that the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had finally revealed its hand, but the question remained, how many more cards were they still holding close to their chest? David Thompson made his way through the labyrinthine corridors of the council station, his security clearance granting him access to areas most junior diplomats never saw. The events in the chamber had triggered an emergency meeting of the council's inner circle, and as Ambassador Chen's aide, he needed to gather as much intelligence as possible about their reaction. 20 years of diplomatic service hadn't prepared him for this moment. He remembered the day he'd been recruited into Earth's Diplomatic Shadow Corps, a secret organization hidden within the regular diplomatic service. Their mission had been simple yet crucial: maintain humanity's carefully crafted image of technological inferiority while gathering intelligence on potential threats. His comm unit buzzed with an encrypted message from Earth Command. The holographic text materialized before his eyes, visible only through his quantum-encrypted neural implant. Phase 2 initiated. Monitor Council response. Authority granted to reveal Package Delta if necessary. David's heart rate quickened. Package Delta contained information about Earth's defensive capabilities that would make the Drachnid fleet incident look like a minor skirmish. In a secure meeting room several levels below, Ambassador Chen was facing her own challenges. The Aldarian representative, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, was practically vibrating with concern. "You must understand our position, Ambassador," it pulsed. "The technology you demonstrated against the Drachnids violates at least 7 different containment protocols. The Council requires assurances." Assurances. Chen's laugh was sharp and without humor. Like the assurances the Council gave us when they detected the Drachnid fleet and chose not to warn Earth. Or perhaps like the assurances given to the Centauri colonies before they were annexed by the corporate worlds. The silence that followed was deafening. In the corner of the room, a Mechanian observer's optical sensors whirred as they adjusted focus. The mechanical race had remained neutral in the Council for centuries, but their sudden interest in Earth's technological capabilities was telling. "We've monitored your communications," Chen continued, laying out data crystals on the table. "We know about the betting pools some Council members set up, wagering on how quickly Earth would fall to the Drachnids. We know about the research teams standing by to scavenge our technology once the invasion was complete." The Aldarian's energy field flickered in what might have been embarrassment. The Mechanian's servos whined softly as it processed this information. Neither denied the accusations. Back in the station's diplomatic quarter, David was piecing together fragments of intercepted communications. The Council races were scrambling to reevaluate their positions. The Drachnids had been considered a Tier 1 military power, and Earth had not just defeated them. They had done so without revealing more than a fraction of their defensive grid. His neural implant flagged a concerning pattern in the encrypted transmissions. Several Council races were already discussing the formation of a containment coalition. Others were reaching out to Earth through back channels, seeking private alliances. The galaxy was rapidly polarizing, and Earth sat at the center of the storm. Ambassador Chen's words in the Council chamber had been more than just a warning. They had been the opening move in a game of galactic chess. Humanity had spent centuries preparing for this moment, building layer upon layer of hidden defenses and countermeasures. But as David studied the incoming data, he couldn't help but wonder if even Earth's most paranoid preparations would be enough for what was coming next. The Council station's emergency alarms shattered the tense diplomatic atmosphere. Through the crystalline viewport, David watched as massive warships emerged from hyperspace, vessels bearing the markings of at least 6 different Council races. The containment fleet had arrived far sooner than anyone had anticipated. Ambassador Chen's voice crackled through his secure comm channel. "They're forcing our hand, David. Initiate Package Delta authorization sequence." Her tone carried a weight he'd never heard before. "And David, whatever happens next, remember that we planned for this too." The Mechanian observer's earlier interests suddenly made sense. They hadn't been gathering intelligence. They'd been updating targeting solutions. As if confirming his thoughts, the mechanical race's dreadnoughts took up attack positions around Earth's delegation ship. In the main Council chamber, the emergency session descended into chaos. The Aldarian representative's crystalline form pulsed with urgent patterns as it addressed the assembly. "The human fleet must be contained. Our long-range sensors detect energy signatures that violate fundamental laws of physics. They possess technology that could destabilize the entire galaxy." David's neural implant processed incoming data at dizzying speeds. The containment fleet was massive, nearly 3,000 ships. Under normal circumstances, it would have been an overwhelming force. But these weren't normal circumstances, and humanity had spent centuries preparing for exactly this scenario. Through the quantum-encrypted channels, he watched Earth's response unfold. Hidden defense platforms across the solar system began powering up. The debris field from the Drachnid fleet shimmered as stealth fields deactivated, revealing pristine human warships that had been hiding in plain sight. But it was what happened next that made David's breath catch in his throat. The moon flickered. Not the subtle distortion of a stealth field, but something far more profound. The lunar surface rippled like water, and massive sections began to move. Earth's closest celestial neighbor, watched by astronomers across the galaxy for centuries, had never been what it appeared to be. Ambassador Chen stood calmly in the council chamber as the footage displayed on every screen. "You thought the Drachnid incident was our show of force." Her voice carried none of the diplomatic restraint from earlier. "That was merely a test run, a demonstration using obsolete technology we were prepared to reveal." The Mechanian observers' optical sensors widened as their scans penetrated the moon's dissolving facade. Beneath the rocky surface lay the largest military installation ever constructed, a megastructure of such complexity that even their advanced sensors struggled to comprehend its purpose. "For thousands of years, humanity fought itself," Chen continued, her words carrying across the now silent chamber. "We split atoms, mastered genetics, broke quantum barriers, all in the pursuit of better ways to wage war. When we finally united, we didn't beat our swords into plowshares. We built bigger swords and hid them among the stars." The containment fleet's commanders were now detecting similar energy signatures from Mars, from the asteroid belt, from locations throughout the solar system that had been under constant observation for centuries. Humanity hadn't just hidden its technology, it had hidden entire defensive networks in plain sight, disguised as natural celestial bodies. David's neural implant pinged with a priority alert. Package Delta wasn't just a revelation of Earth's military capabilities, it was a demonstration. As he processed the incoming data, he understood why even Ambassador Chen seemed sobered by what was about to unfold. The containment fleet held position, weapons charged, waiting for orders. In the council chamber, representatives of 100 alien civilizations watched in growing horror as humanity's true capabilities began to reveal themselves. The galaxy stood on the brink, and the next few moments would determine whether diplomacy would prevail or if the stars themselves would bear witness to just how thoroughly humanity had prepared for this day. As the transformed lunar surface continued its metamorphosis, a new signal cut through every communication channel in the system. The Mechanian observer's sensors detected it first, a quantum frequency that shouldn't have been possible, originating not from Earth or its revealed defenses, but from within the council station itself. Ambassador Chen's expression shifted from confidence to genuine surprise. This wasn't part of the plan. David's neural implant struggled to process the sudden flood of data, but one thing was clear: they weren't the only ones who had been hiding their true nature. "Did you really think?" A new voice echoed through the chamber. "That humanity was the only species playing the long game?" The Aldarian representative's crystalline form shattered, revealing something entirely different beneath. The energy being that emerged bore markings of ancient technology that predated the council itself. The containment fleet's formation suddenly split as nearly a third of its ships broke away, their hulls shimming with the same ethereal patterns as the transformed Aldarian. Centuries of careful planning on all sides were unraveling in moments. "We've watched humanity since they first split the atom," the entity continued, its voice resonating at frequencies that made the station's structural supports vibrate. "We recognized something of ourselves in your species, the drive to prepare, to survive, to hide your true strength until the perfect moment." David's security protocols flashed urgent warnings as his neural implant detected quantum signatures identical to those humanity had developed in absolute secrecy. Somehow, these beings had arrived at the same technological solutions, driven by the same paranoid determination that had shaped Earth's development. Ambassador Chen's hand moved to a concealed panel in her diplomatic robes, activating emergency protocols that even David didn't have clearance to know about. "The precursor theory," she whispered, though her words carried clearly through the chamber. "It wasn't just a theory, was it?" The entity's response was cut short as space itself seemed to bend around the station. The containment fleet's sensors registered massive energy spikes from Mars, but these weren't from human defenses. Hidden installations, bearing the same ancient markings as the transformed ships, were awakening across the solar system. In Earth's secure command bunkers, analysts watched in disbelief as their most classified scanning systems detected familiar patterns in the alien technology. Too familiar. The same quantum signatures, the same stealth systems, the same fundamental approaches to hiding strength in plain sight. Humanity hadn't just been preparing for war. They had been unknowingly retracing the steps of something far older. Your moon base is impressive, the entity acknowledged, gesturing to the still transforming lunar surface. But did you never wonder why Earth's moon is so perfectly positioned to sustain your planet's stability? Why so many of your solar system's apparent natural features seem to work in humanity's favor? David's neural implant synchronized with Earth's defense grid, correlating data that had been staring them in the face for centuries. The asteroid belt wasn't just hiding human weapons platforms. It was itself an ancient defensive line, camouflaged so perfectly that humanity had built their own hidden bases into its existing structure without realizing it. The containment fleet hung motionless as its commanders tried to process the reality that they weren't facing one hidden superpower, but two. Ambassador Chen's carefully planned revelation of Earth's strength had inadvertently triggered something far bigger, the emergence of a force that had been watching, waiting, and preparing since before humanity had mastered fire. Through the station's viewports, the solar system itself seemed to be awakening. Humanity's hidden strengths were impressive, but they had just become pawns in a much larger game. As David watched the energy beings take form around the transformed ships, he realized that Earth's great revelation had been perfectly timed, just not by them. In the chaos of the council chamber, Ambassador Chen did something completely unexpected. She laughed, not the sharp, diplomatic laugh from earlier, but a genuine, almost relieved sound that caught both the energy beings and council members off guard. "We knew," she said, her voice carrying an authority that made even the ancient entity pause. "Not everything, but enough. Did you think we built our defenses into your asteroid belt by accident?" She nodded to David, who activated a hidden protocol in his neural implant. Instantly, the quantum signatures from Earth's defense grid shifted, synchronizing with the ancient technology in a way that should have been impossible. The transformed lunar base pulsed with combined energy that made the containment fleet's sensors overload. Humanity had help, Chen continued, as understanding dawned in the chamber. Not from you, but from others who came before, those who saw the same patterns playing out again. They left us breadcrumbs, subtle guides woven into our scientific discoveries. We followed those leads not because we were destined to, but because we chose to be ready. The entity's form flickered with what might have been surprise as Earth's hidden defenses interfaced seamlessly with the ancient systems. The asteroid belt's true nature revealed itself fully, not just a defensive line, but a vast network that humanity had carefully integrated with over centuries. "Your mistake," David spoke up, his neural implant now channeling data from both human and ancient sources, "was assuming we were retracing your steps. We weren't following your path. We were learning from it, improving on it. Every weapon we built, every defense we created, they were designed to work with technology we knew existed but hadn't yet seen." Space rippled around the solar system as the final pieces fell into place. The containment fleet found itself caught in a web of overlapping fields, human quantum barriers synchronizing with ancient defenses in ways that even the energy beings hadn't thought possible. "That's why we let the Drachnids attack," Chen revealed, "not to demonstrate our strength to the Council, but to show you that humanity had evolved beyond being simple copies of your development path. We needed you to emerge to complete the circuit that started before our species learned to walk upright." The entity's response was cut short by urgent signals from the transformed ships. The human defense grid hadn't just synchronized with the ancient technology. It had begun to enhance it, evolve it. Centuries of human innovation were merging with millennia of ancient development, creating something entirely new. "We don't want war," Chen stated firmly, as the combined human and ancient defenses created patterns of energy never before seen in the galaxy. "What we want is exactly what your kind failed to achieve: true cooperation, not dominance hidden behind false peace, but genuine partnership born from mutual respect and shared strength." The council chamber fell silent as the implications became clear. Earth hadn't just prepared for conflict. They had prepared for this specific moment, this exact revelation. The containment fleet held position, its commanders realizing that the balance of power hadn't just shifted. It had been completely rewritten. But it was the final gesture that truly stunned the gathered representatives. Ambassador Chen and David simultaneously activated protocols that caused Earth's entire defense network to power down to minimal levels. In that moment of apparent vulnerability, they proved something that the ancient beings had never managed in their eons of existence: the strength to choose peace from a position of power. The entity's form pulsed with what might have been laughter, or perhaps admiration. Clever, it acknowledged. You didn't just improve our technology. You improved on our mistakes. As the council members watched in astonishment, the future of galactic politics transformed before their eyes. Earth had orchestrated not just a demonstration of power, but a fundamental change in how species would interact. They had achieved what neither the council nor the ancient beings had managed, turning a moment of potential conflict into an opportunity for genuine evolution. Yet even as the tension began to dissolve, David's neural implant picked up something at the edge of the solar system, a signal that suggested this revelation, as massive as it was, might just be the beginning of an even greater adventure. In the days that followed, the council station became the center of unprecedented cooperation. The containment fleet, once poised for battle, now served as a proving ground for the integration of human and ancient technologies. David watched from his diplomatic post as centuries of distrust gave way to genuine collaboration. The mysterious signal from the edge of the solar system had turned out to be exactly what humanity had hoped for, proof of other civilizations that had followed similar paths of hidden preparation. Like Earth, they had discovered the ancient breadcrumbs and chosen to learn from them rather than simply copy them. The galaxy, it seemed, had more layers of complexity than even the Council's oldest members had imagined. Ambassador Chen's office, once a center of careful deception, became a hub for open exchange of knowledge. The transformation of Earth's defense grid had shown the galaxy a new way forward, one where strength didn't have to be hidden to be respected. The ancient beings, for their part, found themselves learning from the species they had watched for so long. You know what the truly remarkable thing is? Chen mused one evening, as she and David reviewed reports of the ongoing integration. We spent so long preparing for war that we actually became better prepared for peace. Every contingency we planned, every defense we built, they all taught us the value of cooperation. The Mechanian observers, their initial suspicion now replaced with genuine curiosity, had become key partners in understanding how human innovation could enhance technologies that had remained stagnant for millennia. Their logical minds found elegant solutions in humanity's sometimes chaotic approach to problem solving. The lunar base, still adapting to its new hybrid state of human and ancient technology, stood as a symbol of what was possible when preparation met opportunity. Teams of scientists from across the galaxy worked alongside Earth's experts, discovering that the combined knowledge of their civilizations far exceeded the sum of their parts. David's neural implant had been modified to better interface with the ancient systems, giving him insights into how different species had approached similar challenges throughout history. We all chose to hide our strength, he noted during a council session, but for different reasons. The ancients hid from past threats, the council races hid from each other, and humanity hid from the unknown. Now we can finally stop hiding. The Drachnid incident, which had sparked this chain of events, was officially recorded in council archives as the last attempt at military conquest in known space. The revelation of Earth's capabilities, combined with the emergence of the ancient beings and the discovery of other hidden civilizations, had fundamentally changed the calculus of galactic power. As Ambassador Chen prepared to return to Earth for the first time since the crisis began, she found herself reflecting on humanity's journey. We thought we were alone in our paranoia, our need to prepare for the worst. Instead, we found out that it's a universal trait, the desire to protect what matters most. The difference was in how we chose to use that preparation. The signal from the solar system's edge grew stronger, bringing with it new possibilities and challenges. But this time, Earth wouldn't face them alone or in hiding. The combined knowledge of multiple civilizations, each having chosen their own path to this moment, stood ready to face whatever lay ahead. David's final report to Earth Command was surprisingly simple. In preparing for the worst of what the galaxy might bring, we discovered the best of what it had to offer. Our greatest weapon turned out to be our willingness to put those weapons aside. As the Earth delegation's ship prepared for departure, the Council Station's viewing gallery filled with representatives from dozens of worlds. They watched not in fear or suspicion, but with a shared understanding that the galaxy's oldest pattern, the cycle of conflict and hiding, had finally been broken. The real revenge against aggression hadn't been Earth's show of force, but its demonstration that true strength lies in knowing when not to use it.